And even though I have not found my why, and if you haven't found your why, don't stop.
Welcome to Becoming Epic, the podcast for the ones who are counted out, the ones who've been knocked down more times than they can count, but still get back up one more time. This isn't for the perfect. This is for the underdogs, the misfits with big hearts, the ones chasing purpose, not permission. Here, we don't just talk about success. We talk about grit, discipline, heart. We talk about the courage it takes to rebuild yourself when no one is clapping. Because becoming epic, it's not a destination. It's a decision made daily. So if you're tired of the average, the excuses, the same old story, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Adam Berezowsky, and this is Becoming Epic. Let's wake the warrior in you, and let's fucking go. Welcome back to Becoming Epic podcast. My name is Adam Berezowsky, and I am always pumped for every week because I say that all the time. And I say this too because I feel like everybody I interview is my favorite person. So I'm like, this is my favorite person, X, every week. So that's why I didn't want to tell you I was going to do that first. But so this is Jesse. Jesse came into my world, a year and a half ago now?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. And her story's pretty freaking amazing. There's a lot I don't know about her. So we're going to learn a lot. Hopefully she's got some good bombs to drop, some good tea to spill. And so I'm going to pass it off. She's going to introduce herself, kind of who she is, what she does. And then we'll just take it from there. So welcome, Jesse Ruppel.
Hi.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi. I'm Jesse. I'm 33 years old. I have 2 kids.
You like long walks on the beach?
I like long walks on the beach. April 25th is my favorite date because it's not too hot and not too cold.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like speed dating on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it.
So, I started here a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't have this now. Back in the day, fuck working out. Like I have such a up and down history with working out. When I got married, I was 24.
Okay.
Yes, I was 24. I was in the best shape of my life. Like, I weighed 127 pounds. I was so toned. Like, oh my God, my body, if I could have that back. It's ruined that, though. Totally ruined that.
They won't see this. I don't make this for kids. So
yeah.
No
Children. Don't tell them. I need closer. So, yeah, I loved working out. I was super into it. I think mainly because I was getting married and like that pressure of looking the perfect bride. And I achieved it. But once I had my first kid, which was literally I got pregnant a month after I got married.
Nice.
Yeah. We didn't waste any time.
Yeah. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Dude, I mean, have you seen my husband?
Yes. We have all seen her husband. Yes. Yeah.
He's the smoke show.
He's the smoke show, the gym crush, the makes every man gym gay. So yeah.
That's okay.
For sure.
I accept it. But
I think you guys are voted most beautiful couple.
That's so
in like the yearbook, you know how it's like voted best personality, most likely to succeed. Yeah. I was like most likely to end up in a gutter, and then you guys are like the most beautiful couple. Beautiful. Yeah.
I was voted biggest flirt in 8th grade.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What a thing to be voted for in 8th grade.
Weird. Yeah. I know. Like, let's not condone that, but sexuality. Anyway.
Yeah.
After I had my first kid, I gained a lot of weight, like so much weight. And I lost the want to work out. And I never worked out during pregnancy. Stopped working out after he was born. I had really bad postpartum depression. And then, I don't know, I just stopped. Like, it just wasn't a want. And it wasn't in my, routine. Then I got pregnant. I would try to work out because my husband has always that's been his life. That's his like hobby. Calls going to the gym his hobby. Okay, that's good. I tried a little bit, but I just never got into it. Long story short, a year and a half ago, Andrea, who works here, I remember texting her. We'll dive into why I was so messed up and depressed, but I remember texting her and I was like, I need to make a change. Like, I was sitting on the floor of my house in such a dark headspace. I have depression. I've battled that my whole entire life. And I remember like literally grabbing my body my body parts, my stomach, you know, just looking at myself like, what the fuck did you do? Like, why do I allow myself to look like this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I need something. I need to introduce me to this gym that you work at. Cause she always talked about it. She raves about it. And she brought me in, and I remember coming in, I was so nervous cause so out of shape, just large and
So large.
so large.
Oh my God.
And ever since then, I just fell in love with it. It's the support, everyone that I've met here. I've never met anyone that made me feel like, oh, like I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go to Gold sometimes and they're just so judgy,
Oh yeah.
judgmental.
Well, you know, part of the application to come in here is like judge free, all that stuff. You know how like Planet Fitness is like, oh, we're like the judge free zone,
Yeah.
right? But like, yeah, most of the time when I'm interviewing people or like people are interviewing to want to be here or want to sign up, I'm interviewing them because if they ain't a good fit, I'll send them to the gym down the street. Because yeah,
not Colin.
Yeah.
Never been there. It's a great gym, I'm sure.
Totally. But like any other gym, because it's like, you know, there's a certain type of person that I want here, even though like if you're just starting your journey, because there's so many people that come that are like scared, you know, nervous. This is at your lowest, most vulnerable spot, you know, and we'll dive into that.
Yeah.
You know, that just don't belong here. Cause it's like, if you're going to sit here and talk bad about other people, gone.
No,
I mean, I've canceled people's memberships. I have like, there's no reason why people like that need to be here.
No.
Yeah.
You're here to better yourself.
100%.
Better other people around you.
100%.
You don't want to deal with that
Nope.
BS.
No, there's all that BS is out there. If you have that 1 hour out of the day and this is the most impactful time of your day, like I'm going to make sure that shit happens.
Yeah.
Period.
No, that's so important.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you make that a point.
Culture.
In your members.
Mm-hmm. Culture is so important in a weird, it's like a most vulnerable, it should be the most vulnerable, greatest place to be. But in some gyms, it's also a very toxic environment just because competition, ego, you know, it really does stem from leadership down. I mean, I always say I'd never take credit for like the people here. It's the people here that make it. But it's like us as staff do a pretty good job at like vetting the people that do need to be here and deserve to be here and invest their time, invest their money, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being part of it.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Inviting me, welcoming me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what do you want to?
So let's dive in. So marriage, right to kids.
Right.
Kids. So pre-marriage, any sports, anything that you were into like that kept you fit or active, like family stuff?
Well, I rode horses for 12 years.
Okay.
But I was young.
Yeah.
I started like maybe 4 years old until like early teens.
Mm-hmm.
Very expensive sport. Very expensive sport. And so my parents couldn't afford that anymore. And to be honest, I didn't play any sports.
Oh.
I did water polo for a summer.
Nice.
That was fun. But no, I was never into sports growing up, except for the horseback riding. I would have done that my entire life, but I'm not rich. So unfortunately.
There's a lot of people here that do equestrian sports and
the best.
Yeah. I mean, well, I've been on a horse once or twice. I can't spread my legs enough to sit on a horse. So it is very uncomfortable because I have zero flexibility.
Sure.
So, and then like the 1 or 2 times I'm like, not for me.
Not for you.
Nope.
At least you admit that.
I know 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you got to have all that strength in there.
Yeah. I have the strength. I can't.
You do. Tree trunks.
Yeah. They don't fit. The horse, not my legs.
Skinny little horse.
Yeah. A mini horse.
Yeah.
I am a little horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was not into sports. I was actually a rebel child, not baby. I got into drugs young. I smoked a lot of weed. And my mother is a functioning alcoholic. Always has been. Her and I don't get along very well, but she's a great grandma. Better grandma than mother.
Yep.
So yeah, let's see. Middle school was awful because I was picked on a lot. I don't know why. Actually, my calf size, they used to call me man legs all the time. I know. Some evil boys.
Kids can be terrible.
So 7th grade was the worst, dude. I was picked on like you wouldn't believe. Like I was so neurotic. I remember this one time. So stupid. I was so neurotic about my hair and like looking good, being straight. I would spend hours straightening my hair. And my friend at the time walks up to me with these other two girls that used to just pick on me all the time. Oh, Jesse, did you know that you missed a spot in your hair? It's like really curly right there. And I died, Adam. Like inside, I was just like, oh my God, I need to go to the bathroom. It's something so simple.
My God.
So simple, so little, so stupid.
Yeah.
But I think that's really where I started. Like, I was struggling so much at home because of my relationship with my mom. My dad was always gone working because my mom didn't work. So I was so depressed at home. And middle school just like took the hammer, just took it out of me, just continued the beating. And so I started getting kind of not mean. I would never bully other people, but I just got a little hard. So came high school, kind of alienated myself from people, and I sought after the drugs. And I would drink at school all the time. We would go to this place we would call it Little Tijuana.
Oh my God.
It was a bush. It was in the bushes. And before school, we'd go there to smoke weed, and we'd have Dasani water bottles full of vodka. Fun.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'd bring them in class. I know they smelled it.
Yeah.
Why we were never caught, I don't know.
Interesting.
Like, I think the teachers were just kind of like, I don't care.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I did that a lot in high school. And then I had one group of friends, and a specific girl. We were like genuinely good friends, but she got into meth real bad. And so I kind of dabbled with meth a little bit. I remember being in a literal meth house, an apartment building, and he was cooking it on the stove. And I kind of took a step back, and I was like, all right, this is not a space that how old was I? 15-year-old should be in. Like,
Holy.
Called my mom. I went outside and I sat on the balcony and I called my mom, and she fucking went, well, do you need to come home? And I turned around and I went back in and we did meth. And I did it probably 3 or 4 times after, but the come down was, I got so angry and I decided that cocaine treated me better. So
Different relationships,
right?
Totally.
I reacted bad with meth, so let me just do cocaine. I did that for probably a while. I got really skinny and everyone was like, dang, you look so good, you know? But I misspoke. I was not 14. This was probably junior into senior.
So was that like 16,
17? Yeah. I started having sex when I was 14. So I got my things crossed. But yeah, I did my fair share. I loved ecstasy, loved cocaine. And it got to the point where my parents were like, you're not going to school. You graduated high school. You're not going to college. You don't have a job. You don't have a really good job. If you don't do something, get out. So I went to cosmetology school.
Oh.
Passed.
Nice.
I have my license still.
Cool.
I'm just not active.
Yeah.
But I keep it just in case, because you never know.
Never know.
You never know. So that was my high school years. I didn't even get into the sexual parts of that. But how deep do you want to go?
I mean, if it plays a pivotal moment in your life,
It does.
then yeah, let's run it.
Okay. Well, like I said, I lost my virginity at 14 with my best friend's cousin, who my best friend ended up telling my father that it was her cousin because we were like really close families, friends.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She was such a bitch about that. But anyway, I lost my virginity at 14. So in 8th grade, 6 months before 8th grade ended, I had a boyfriend. He was a surfer dude. Sweetest, like such a good guy. His name was Christian. And we dated for 6 months. I feel like that's a long time for 8th grade, right?
Yeah. I mean, my average, I was always friend zoned. So in my head, my average was only 3 months. Oh. But they're like, oh, you're like my brother. I just can't do anything else with you. So it's like, all right.
All right.
Yeah, I was always friend zoned. That's okay.
Not now, though. Not anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm in a very happy, committed relationship. And
yes.
Yeah.
With a beautiful girl.
Yeah. Don't ask me how or why. It just happened to work out that way.
It was fate.
It was
fate.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was so good. But when high school came, I got into that stupid, like, high school boys, you know?
Yeah.
I need to not be tied down. And I broke his heart. I broke up with him to go be a hoe, basically. And I think in the matter of like, I don't know how long it was, but it was a short period of time. I remember it was like 20 guys. And one night I had sex with 2 guys in the same night. I'm a 14, 15-year-old girl. I look back at it now and I'm actually grossed out. Why? I mean, I know that's a lot of people have the same story.
Yeah.
And it's like that age where you're just experimenting, you have all those sexual feelings. I think because now I'm a mom and I think like, oh my God, my kids at 14, that is so young still. Like, I can't even imagine them doing that.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. And not that we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But they better not.
But your son's almost 8. Your oldest is almost 8.
He's turning 8 on Sunday, yeah.
And that's only what, 5, 6 more years, right? 7 more years. 8.
I can't do math.
16. Yeah, I can't do math. LA Unified. I just don't take credit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like weird now because like I look at kids this day and age and like, you know, you and I have very similar backgrounds. This is too low. And some of the things that, you know, I look at them and I'm like, how the hell were we doing the things that we were doing? And it's still happening and occurring this day and age. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, it's just life. And so, but yeah, they just look so young.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I was smoking a blunt at my bar mitzvah, 13 years old. Like, who does that?
I mean,
yeah, I know, but I'm like born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. And like, you know, obviously that era was a lot different now. And like now it's, you know, you do one thing and all of a sudden you're posted on social media and your life's over and, you know, and so in our generation, you're how old?
33.
Okay. So I'm 4. So is it 8 years younger than me? 7 years?
How old are you?
7 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a pretty decent gap, right? But I think you're still like on the generation of like pre-social media.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I was when the cell phones came out, I was in elementary school.
It was like 2001, I think, is when the first iPhone
I was in
came
elementary
out.
school. 2001?
Maybe. No,
because I remember the Nokias. Like,
no, it wasn't 2001.
I had a flip phone for my first phone.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a pretty big moment. So that I'm assuming led into like the drug era.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I started smoking cigarettes at 12. Both my parents smoked cigarettes still.
Oh.
It was always around. So I started smoking cigarettes at 12. I started smoking weed probably around the same time. But the harder drugs came after I started having sex and just being like careless and
rebellious.
Yeah. Rebellious Jesse. But later in life, I learned, I mean, I'm just diagnosing myself with this, but I think I learned why I was so sexually active and like wanting it. Not that it never felt good at that age, but okay. First incident, when I was 9 or 10, I was molested by a friend's older brother's friend. So, a little backstory. I used to know my mom had a friend who had a son and he has myotonic dystrophy, which I don't even know how to, he has like the thought process of a 5-year-old. Gotcha. And his muscles are deteriorating as he gets older. He can't speak anymore. Well, like it's really hard to understand him, but we were really close when we were younger. And I would hang out with him all the time because my mom was friends with his mom. I'd be over there. He had an older brother. And I remember sleeping over at their house and that whole night, his friend was so like just paying such close attention to me and giving me piggyback rides, showing me his tongue ring, you know, like massaging my shoulders and just he was 18, being very inappropriate to a 9, 10-year-old, being an 18-year-old young man. And so I was a heavy sleeper, like heavy sleeper. I know now that I blocked it out and I probably woke up a little bit, but I had blocked it out then. Cause I'll have like, not nightmares, but dreams, but I think it's like of things that actually happened. So we went to bed and when I woke up, my pants were like all fucked up and I was bleeding. Not heavily, but you know, I went to the bathroom, wiped myself, and there was like light blood. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't get my period until I was 11. And I just remember walking out. I remember I had a cheetah skirt. And I was like, oh, I'm going to look so cute for the guy. 10-year-old, I was enjoying the attention. I didn't know that it was inappropriate at the time. He did make me feel a little uncomfortable, but I didn't understand. So I remember I was getting changed in the bathroom, and then I wiped myself, and I was like, why am I bleeding? This is kind of weird. And I walked out, and the guy was just so like, how'd you sleep? Like, did you have a good night? Like, I was thinking, I don't remember the exact things that he was saying. But later on, my mom's friend, had called her and was like, I had woken up in the middle of the night, and his name was Chris. I caught Chris carrying Jesse into the bedroom that he was staying in. And she's like, don't worry. Like, I told him to put her down, and that was it. It was so like nonchalant. They didn't like dive into like, did anything happen? They didn't ask me any questions. She just was telling her, I guess, in case I don't know why, but I learned that, and I was like, oh my God, if she hadn't caught him, it probably wouldn't have been just molested, whatever he did. Yeah. Who knows what would have happened? I mean, he did something before she caught him, but I blocked it out. And that's why I say I was a heavy sleeper, but I think I just like blocked and just went into like nothing happened. So I was aware of that situation, but later on, after I had met my husband, before we got married though, we were just dating. He and I were sitting in my old room in my childhood home, talking to my mom. I couldn't tell you what the conversation was. I don't remember how we got on the subject. I think we were just like talking trauma, having deep conversations. And she says something to the effect of, oh, I remember when you were younger than 9 and 10, we used to live in a condo in Thousand Oaks. And I used to hang out with a brother and a sister. And there would be it was either a babysitter or an older sister that would be with us, like the condo kids, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, I remember that you guys would always play doctor. And we had to, one of the reasons why they wanted to move is because you guys were constantly like playing with each other's parts, showing each other your privates. I think they ended up finding out that it was either the babysitter or the older sister. Whoever the older kid was assaulting one of the brothers or one of the siblings. And my mom's so nonchalant. Yeah, you were a part of that. Like you were being...
Oh, shit.
She doesn't know exactly what went down, but sexually, whatever was going down. The other mom found out that her younger child, like I guess it got real bad there. I don't know. But that was one reason why they wanted to move. And my mom wasn't getting along with one of the moms. But yeah, first of all, why wasn't I told this before?
Yeah.
Because I met my husband at 18. So I must have been 19 or 20, whatever. Why wasn't I told this before? This explained to me why I was so weird. I got weird with I hate saying this. I got weird with my father growing up, and he was the best dad. Mm. That was never even an issue. But in my head, I got so weird with my dad, with other adult men, I got like uncomfortable, and I would, just like trauma would start happening. And I find out in my early adulthood from my mom. Yeah, back when we lived in the condo, we don't really know what happened, but you basically were sexually assaulted with young kids. I feel bad for that child who was initiating it, because like what happened to her to make her do this to young kids. And I think that's why I would sleep so heavy during when I was 9 and 10, because it's like what do they call it? Like a trauma response. Yes, trauma response. My body would just like shut down and just like, okay, block it out. It's not really happening. Yeah. Wow. So I just remember that so like just sitting in my room and my mom just, oh yeah, you were probably sexually assaulted. Well, I know you were, because you guys would play doctor and we catch you like showing each other your privates, and then it would start touching and just gross. Yeah. Just gross. So then fast forward to being 14 and just going balls in, just having sex like nobody's business. And I got super depressed. Like I said, I have depression and I've learned to handle it better now, but there was so many moments in my life where I was in such a deep, dark state of mind. I used to self-harm for a long time. I have scars on my arms from it, on my legs. And that was just a way of coping.
Wow.
Just taking it out on myself. And I was very lonely. I'm an only child. So I was very lonely. As I said, my dad worked a lot. And my mom was always drinking, reading her book. I was on the phone with her friends.
Yeah.
So she never played with me. She just was in her own world. And I would sit in my room, smoke some weed, and just cut myself. And when it first started, my grandpa was living with us. He had cancer, lung cancer, which metastasized to his brain. And he was living with us for a while. And my mom was like very emotional, obviously. Your dad is dying. He has cancer. I remember going into the bathroom or something, and I just started like going at it. And there was like a big cuts, just a bunch of cuts. And sitting at the table eating dinner, and my grandpa was like, "Oh, what happened to your arm? Are you okay?" And my mom was like, acting like she was interested. "Oh, I fell in a bush." And both my parents, or I don't even know if my dad was home, but they like kind of were like, "That's just really what happened." I remember my grandpa was like, "She would never do that. She's a happy child. Like, Jesse would never do that. That's my girl, right?" And I just remember in my head, I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm going to get away with this." So I just kept doing it, And in all honesty, that stopped for a long time until I think I self-harmed after my first kid was born, because I just got back into that like that dark space. And I self-harmed myself, and I didn't tell my husband. But I do remember that like the next day or after doing it, I was like, "What are you doing? Like, you're a mom, you're an adult, start fucking acting like it. Don't do this shit anymore." So I had to mentally be like, this is not okay. This is little Jesse.
Yeah.
Pull yourself out of it. And I did. I have not done it since. And I hate that I admit that. As a grown woman, I, get in there. But it's, my bottom line is so much shit happened that put me in that dark headspace. And it takes every day to pull out of it. And I have to mentally prepare myself when I start feeling going down that hill. Like, come on, you're so much stronger than that. You're so much stronger than that. And that circles back to working out. Like, I haven't had super bad episodes that I internalize and I just kind of keep to myself since I've started working out. It also has to do with here and the vibes and the support. Like, it just makes it so much better. But the fact that I see what my body can do, I can get my aggression out.
Yep.
I feel myself getting stronger. Like it's such a reprieve to stay out of that headspace. It's never going to go away.
Yeah.
I'm always going to have that battle, but when you actually start taking care of yourself and wanting to take care of yourself, it's the best medicine.
Yeah, I feel like, with self-harm, with a lot of ways to get your feelings out there, like those are just cry for helps, in the grand schemes of life, because it's like, depression is real. I think everybody does suffer from some form of depression, just a matter of how you cope with it. And then, family support, if you go to therapy, whatever, go down the medication route. Cause like, I think with you, with the physical self-harm, it's kind of like with me with like drug harm, right? Like I went down the drug route. I mean, obviously so did you, to not just like escape from the reality. Cause I think that that's what pain does.
Yes. 100%.
Escapes from reality. It's some form of an outlet. And then, being able to like have an outside source of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not acceptance, like a response to then doing something to like get it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I'm trying to looking for. That was not it, but whatever. Because like, I feel like today, like that's what exercise is. Like it is essentially harming oneself to then get better. Right. And it is a great way to, I wouldn't say fix, but like manage your depression, manage trauma. We all have different trauma and, and like yours, there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
Now learning so much about you, there are major levels to it.
Levels to that. And that's not even everything, but
yeah,
it's big parts. Yeah.
yeah. But like, you know, taking responsibility at some point for yourself of like knowing like, okay, this is not the path I want to be down.
Yeah.
You know, I need some change. I need some, you know, and there's been plenty of times sitting on a floor crying by yourself, like in that dark hole, you know, that I'm sure a lot of people have experienced in their life.
Oh, yeah.
That makes you make decisions that then can change the course of your future, you know, because, you know, I feel like our generation, or at least my generation, like we're the trauma-filled I mean, I think every generation has its form of trauma. There's just different levels to it, right? Because like as society changes, how people cope, how people are vulnerable or don't talk about things. You know, if you don't fix, and there's no fixing the trauma.
There's no fixing.
Yeah. And like, but there's ways to store it within your body to either propel you to a positive light or to suck you back down the black hole.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and it's so much easier. And like those religious people allow the devil to take control because it's kind of the easier route. It's like you're just stuck in this life, and the path to fight to get out is so much harder.
Yes.
You know, and so then fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about like where you were prior to exercising and now having the life that you do now.
Yeah. Well, I don't do drugs anymore. Good. My husband would never. I stopped right when I met him because right up front he was like, I don't play around with that.
Yeah.
That is, I want to be a police officer. No. And he has, talk about traumatic experiences in his past. You should get him on this.
I'm planning on
I don't know if he would, but
yeah.
he has a lot of drug abuse history with his mom's side of the family.
Gotcha.
So right off the bat, I don't deal with that. That's got to go. So I did. I stopped. There was one time that I tried to sneak it around him, but he found out and he got really mad. Like really mad.
Yeah.
But so I stopped. You know, we got together. We've been together 13 years this November, or maybe 14 years. I think it's 14 years.
Well, don't forget that. Put it on your calendar.
I know.
Be like, what day was I married? Because like
it's 14 because we've been married 9 years this October.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll be 15 when we're married 10.
Nice.
Yeah. Started drinking a lot. I still drink. I started drinking a lot. So after I've always drank. I'm a social drinker. I think it got pretty bad after the riot, the COVID. We were all stuck in home.
Yep.
We all remember that.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
You mean the peaceful protests?
The peaceful protests, which my husband worked every single one.
Yeah.
So I would stupidly turn on the news, just like I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
I was home alone with my oldest son, and I would drink every night. Like I was stressed about my husband being safe, stressed about what was going on, stressed about getting toilet paper. Remember that?
Oh my God.
God, I could.
The lines at Costco and then the sellout. Oh my God.
I literally had to stand in line at Target.
I know.
To get toilet paper.
Like it's crazy to say that we're through that, but it's like then like 20 years from now to see it in the history books.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know if you remember going like in history class with the gas shortage in like the 80s and maybe 70s.
Yeah.
During that time, and like cars were lined up like looking to get gas. Now it's going to be our toilet paper.
Yes.
Is that
and paper towels.
Yeah.
Toilet paper and paper towels. So yeah, I started drinking a lot just to cope with, I find my coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
It was cutting, and then it was drugs, and it was sex, and it's like, I'm going to drink. So I started drinking a lot, and obviously you gain a lot of weight. I backed off, obviously, when I was pregnant with my second child.
Yeah.
I didn't drink during that, but I remember that when I had my first son, I didn't drink after he was born. Like I had no desire. Wyatt, the day I got home from the hospital, I was like, I need a glass of wine. And I had a glass of wine. And it's fine. You can enjoy a glass of wine. You just had a baby, whatever. But I knew in my head, it was like, oh, finally, I can drink again. So stupid.
I could just see the intensity.
So yeah, I didn't even like stop. I just started drinking more, but I'm always like an up and down. Like I don't get blacked out and do like unimaginable things. I handle myself.
Yeah.
I just get buzzed, like pretty buzzed, and I enjoy it. But it was getting too much, way too much. It got to the point where I was drinking a bottle of whiskey in 2 days to myself. And I know there's people that are like, I used to drink a bottle in a day. Yeah. Yep. And it's like, it's not good. That's so bad. But for me, drinking a bottle in 2 days was I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, stop. But I didn't stop. And I was getting really fat for me. And so then my depression started kicking up really bad, as it would when you're drinking a lot. And my kids are so young, and I was, with them a lot, but I do work. We know that I work, but it's not stable.
Yeah.
For the listeners, I work in the post-production industry. I make sound effects for television.
Yeah, she's the one that does the footsteps when people are walking.
Yes.
And then like banging on a wall in a, what are the drying things with the steel? What was it used to be called? I don't know. I see this guy doing it all the time. For some reason, every time we talk about it, it always shows up on my TikTok or whatever. Yeah. And he like uses, what's the clothing dryers from like the back in the day? Oh, the washboards. Yeah. And so he'd be like this with the washboard with like all these different tools and stuff to make sounds.
That's literally, you just find something to implement the sound that you need to make. And you're not using what you're seeing necessarily.
Yeah.
You're using whatever you can to make that sound.
Totally.
But so that industry is not what it was. It's very up and down.
Yeah. Well, the entire movie industry is going down the crap.
Oh my God.
Here in California.
Yeah. Like that's a whole another stress that I think about all the time. But so anyway, I was stressed about work. I was just drinking like all the time and looking at my body. As I had mentioned before, I was just getting more and more depressed. So that's when I had reached out to Andrea and asked to come into the gym. And I still drink, and I still catch myself drinking too much. And I have to remind myself, don't fall back into that. And excuse me, my kids. Big reminder is when I have drinking the night before and I come to work out, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like I feel
always.
You just feel awful.
But the problem is people that drink all the time always feel like shit. So it's normal.
And I was there.
Yeah.
I was so there.
Yeah.
When I first started here, I still drank every night.
Wow.
The challenge, the 6 weeks challenge, I had to stop. And Andrea even was like, are you going to be okay? Like, you can't drink on this challenge. And I was like, no, but I wanted to do it to make myself stop drinking.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink. And I felt great.
Funny how that happens.
Funny. My stomach wasn't bloated. I lost weight, gained muscle. It was a blessing that I embarked on that 6 week challenge. Now, I will be honest with you. After that 6 week challenge.
Give me a beer. Give me my glass of wine.
I'm not gonna buy whiskey. I'm a whiskey girl.
Nice.
And I feel it so hard now. When I feel like shit.
Yeah.
When I'm drinking the next day and even during drinking. But I think becoming epic is I am not where I want to be. I don't even know where that is really in like my fitness journey or my mental health journey. But I'm making sure that every day I consciously make an effort to try harder, to try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that I think to me is becoming epic. Consciously, can't say that word. trying to be better, to do better, be healthy. When I am drinking too much, realize it and stop.
Yeah. Back
off. And I know, like some people, well, maybe you should just stop drinking altogether. It's like, I know, but I'm not.
You're not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And I openly admit that. I'm not cutting myself anymore.
Yep.
I'm not doing drugs.
Yep.
I sleep with one man.
Yep.
It's baby steps.
Yeah. People will always have their opinion on when not asked. Yeah. And that's why like sharing stories like this, I think is so important just because it's like everybody is at different stages in their life. Like most people that are like the influencers and the people in the limelight, it's because that they have already done all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to have conversations with people that are in it
Yeah.
you know, just because again, like your journey doesn't like, there's no like perfect life. Like, you know, so it's like, there's not one person in the world who like lives their most healthiest. They don't have any bad vices. They're not in the perfect relationship, you know, whatever it may be that has a negative effect on them. So it's like, we all are kind of dealing with it, but it's just a matter of what steps are you doing moving forward to like move forward.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's, you know, you're at a place where you're not ready, right? I think there's going to be that one day where that light bulb is going to go off, you know, where you're going to be like, oh, okay, it serves no purpose anymore.
Right.
Because then it's like finding, I think the biggest thing too is like finding a person's why, like understanding like why you're doing this for one. Like, cause I think like kids can be a good contributing factor of like, oh, I want to be the best version of myself for my kids. You know, or you hit rock bottom and like, there's only one way to go from there. Cause it's either under the ground or up.
Yep.
Right. But like, I think that's a big problem is like people just don't understand what their why and what their purpose is. And I mean, part of my coaching is to help people find that. So maybe we'll have bigger, deeper conversations outside of being filmed.
Yeah.
Not just to like, you know, cause when you're ready, you know, but like there's ways to like find your purpose, you know, it's like, you know, like with your job and the things you want to do. Cause you know, you being a parent, that's a huge responsibility. And especially like with your husband, I know he works a lot. Mm-hmm. You're basically a part-time single parent. You know, it's like, it's your kids first. It's always your kids, always your kids. So that time that you have, you just want it to be chill, relax, get your little buzz, like whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But in the end, if you're working towards a bigger future, right? And like you have that passion driven where you're like, okay, this is what I'm put on this earth to do. I can't stop thinking about it. Like last night, like I'm literally watching how to grow a YouTube channel. Like I obsess about it. It's like, I can't stop thinking about it. So it's like, until you find a purpose like that, that's where it's kind of difficult to like put your effort into that. Because then you have all this other shit, your kids, like kids sports and blah, 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 all that stuff. And it's hard because people don't know how to find their why.
Right.
Or they don't even try.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like every day you are moving the needle 1% more, no matter what you are doing, right? Because you show up every day, not just because you work here now, but like you put in a huge impact into the community of people here. Cause like, not only do you show up for yourself, but you're showing up for others who like you, who I think look at you. And I think now they'll probably have a much bigger respect for you for everything that you've gone through, or judge the shit out of you. Their memberships are going to be canceled and they're going to be like, all right, you're out. You're going to 24-hour fitness.
No
we'll get that lunk alarm thing that Planet Fitness has. But like, you know, thank you for sharing a lot of that. Like that's some pretty deep shit. I think, you know, there's a lot of courage in just saying everything you just said.
Thank you. And I know I was rambling a lot.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I do ramble.
Yeah. But I think like taking a little bit of all those things of what got you into a position to like make a big change, right? Because like, I think going from like living the way you were to even just adding exercise is a huge change. It might be a small percentage on everything that you do. It's big
for me.
And it's compounded now for over a year and a half of like you showing up for yourself. You bring your kids to the gym. They love being here. Like, honestly, it's hard for you to leave when your kids are here because it's like all they want to do is hang out here and play. And, you know, and Mr. Incredible is always here. Her son always dresses up and he's Woody some days, Mr. Incredible. Skeleton.
He was a dragon for a while, but he grew out of that.
Yeah, the dragon. Oh my God.
He loves it.
But again, I think part of a journey is like finding a purpose, right? And even if that purpose is just being the greatest mom, but like, how does it serve your life? Mm-hmm. You know, or being the best wife, or being, you know, say you want to do the sound effects thing and your dad's like, oh, here's the business, have fun, you know, and all of a sudden that, or you don't want to do that at all. Yeah. You know, and then like, what do you do from there? Like, how do you find the next, like, what is the next step? But I think that's the cool part about this is because like you can't rewrite the past, but you can rewrite every chapter moving forward. And like, in my opinion, you have like the blankest slate ever because you have a husband that loves you.
Yes.
Who supports you, who you have wild and crazy kids, but I mean, you have a huge community of people that support you outside of that. And I think that that's one of the bigger contributing factors of why, again, I'm biased because it's my gym, but like this community of people that like rally behind you to, you know, so will support you. Because if you say, hey, I need to make a change, I'm not drinking anymore, I need everybody's help, you know damn well everybody will come running at the beck and call.
100%.
Right? But I don't think you're there. I just think that you know, you're enjoying the life that you're living at the moment. And
I am. I mean, I am. A little earlier you said the why could be want to be better for my kids, and I want that. I want that. But being fully transparent, I don't think that that's my why right now.
Totally.
And that makes me feel like I'm being such a bad mom by saying that, because my oldest, if I stop at a liquor, what are you buying? Alcohol, you shouldn't be drinking that. I'm like, oh my God, why is my 8-year-old, like, that's shame on me. My 8-year-old should not be telling me that. I know he sees his grandma, my mom, drinking every night. And that alone should be a reason of like, I don't want to turn into that.
yeah.
I used to get in physical fights with my mom when she was wasted. Like, just not only physical, screaming, just awful, awful, horrible relationship growing up with her. So that alone should be my reason why.
Yeah.
And it messes with my mind that it's like, why isn't that your why?
Yeah.
Why are you not stop? Like, but I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be, I'm not a drunk. Like I said, like I don't get belligerent. I still can take care of my kids. I still take care of my house. I still work. I still come to the gym.
Yeah.
But I just, like I went this whole week, I didn't drink and I felt great.
Yeah.
Last night I got home and I had some whiskey. And it's like, I even told myself, I was like, don't. Like, why? It's Thursday night. Why?
Yeah.
And I did. And I woke up and I was like, why the fuck did you do that? I didn't drink a lot, but I told myself this week, don't drink. And I was so good.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just.
Well, here, I'm going to lighten it up because
please.
No, not just because like, again, like I don't like my why, for example, has really not a lot to do like specifically for my daughter. A lot of my why is like, I know I'm on this earth to serve. So I actually serve other people outside of even my family. Right. Cause like, you know, I don't know if I've said this to you, but like I got Cassidy to sign up for a half marathon, but I'm like, I'm not going to be her coach or her running partner. Like I'm going to be her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm going to support her. I'm going to do all that stuff. Like, just like my daughter, like, you know, she's in my life. Right. And it's like, I don't want to lose out on me living the life that I want because of her. Right. And so I'll share something with you. So I smoked weed from 13 years old till 2021. Okay. So I quit in 2021. I had COVID.
During COVID, you quit?
Yeah, I know.
That's a tough time to.
Well, it's because I had COVID and I was smoking those stupid pen things. And I was smoking those pens, concentrates. I was probably going through 3 cartridges a week. And at $70 a pop, each cartridge. So is that 100? That's 207, 14, 20, $210 a week on cartridges.
That's $800 a month.
I know. And so I got COVID it was the first round of COVID that I got because I've had it at least twice. I don't know any other time. And but it was one where you lost your taste and smell and all that stuff. And I smoked and I had a severe panic attack because I had like in panic attacks in like 2018. I was hospitalized for them. Took a bunch of time off of work. And then same reaction. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I'm sweaty and I'm by myself in my apartment because, you know, COVID.
Yeah.
I had COVID. My whole family's scared shitless. I still have family that wears masks, you know? And so it is what it is. And I ended up walking around my apartment complex outside like 3:00 in the morning by myself, just doing laps with my dog because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. So it was either that or I was going to call 911. I literally went back upstairs, threw everything away, and I haven't touched it since. Wow. Yeah. So I quit cold turkey after what? So I was 13 in 2021. So that was 4 years ago. So I was 36, right? I don't know. So from
here comes the math.
Yeah. So from 13 to 36, so I was at 26 years.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. More than 20 years.
More than 20 years.
More than 20 years. Terrible. This is not a math channel.
Please.
Yeah. But within that, so like when the gym was closed down, I would actually smoke weed driving with my daughter in the car. And like, this is when she was young. And this is like at the very beginning of my divorce, which was awful. And she said something to me that like, made me not want to do it in front of her. She goes, "Daddy's dragon breath." Yeah. And so it was like, in that moment, I was like, holy shit, like this is a problem, right? Because A, I shouldn't be smoking weed while driving, period.
Well, yeah.
2, driving with a 2 or 3-year-old in my car.
And she's realizing that.
And she's realizing something is like daddy's dragon breath. And so, and I'm an abuser. And that was like a pivotal moment, but it didn't make me quit.
Right.
Right. So like, I think
you wanted it to be your why, but it wasn't.
Yeah. And like, so again, like I don't live purposefully I live purposely for me, hoping that like my daughter will live the same way that I'm being the example of. Right. So like, and I think that that's where a lot of parents kind of confuse that of like, because kids, again, I've seen it time and time again, kids will do what parents do and mimic what parents do versus like the years and years and years of parents giving up their own life to tell their kids to live a certain way and then hoping that that's how they live their life. But
they don't have the example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So if a parent is like, oh, you need to play sports, do all this, X, Y, and Z, but yet they're 200-300 pounds, they're 99%, or maybe not 99%, whatever the percentage is going to be like that eventually.
Yeah.
And so, so I think like, you don't necessarily need your kids to be a purpose, right? But it's like setting the example of how you want you to live your life and then hoping eventually your kids will mimic that.
Yeah.
Right. Because so many parents are willing to die for their children, but very little are actually willing to live. Right. And I think that that's the contributing factor. I love my dog. He is so great. I'm going to have to let him out because he's just not going to stop barking. That's the contributing factor of like actually being an example for your children.
Yeah.
And so, to find a purpose, right? Because your purpose could be, I don't know, maybe next week you're like, man, I want to quit everything I'm doing and I want to go back to school to become, I don't know, a scientist, a doctor. It doesn't matter. I don't know, an astronaut. I'm just saying, naming all the stuff that like kids do.
Yeah.
To where like, you can do that for yourself, right? Because then you're going to show grit, you're going to show drive, you're going to show, determination. And so your purpose doesn't have to be your kids. So you shouldn't ever feel bad about that.
I appreciate you saying that.
Because I think that that's where most people want to be, is like they want their kids to be their motivation. But then again, like you still just lose yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Right. But you're doing a lot of good because you're showing them that you're showing up no matter what you do outside of this place. Like you're showing up for yourself coming into this place.
Yes.
With them.
Yes.
Right. Showing them that, hey, no matter what, this is what mommy does. Right. Yeah. Like this is what we're doing for the day, and then we'll do everything else after the fact. Yeah. And you make the time, so you are leading a good example.
This is a priority.
Yeah.
And they do realize that. I never had that growing up. My parents never worked out.
Yeah.
And I'm proud and happy to show my children like, no, this needs to be your health, your physical health is just as important as your mental health.
Oh, 1,000%.
You have to take care of your body.
Well, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Like even in therapy, right? Because like, I don't know if you've ever done therapy.
I did when I was younger.
Yeah. But like therapy only focuses on the mental health. And really all it does is what I've learned, the therapy that I've done, is it just brings everything to surface, but it doesn't teach you the things to like, what to do with all this information. They're like, okay, cool. I was molested. I was abused as a child. I was, I had all this trauma. Okay, cool. We bring it to the surface, but then what do you actually do with it? Like, how do I use this information to then excel me without like just dwelling in the fact that like my life was a trauma ball, and there's programs out there that like I have found for my issues and myself that like give you like instructions on like, okay, this is like step 1, do that. Step 2, do this. Step 3, step 4. And then like you unpeel the onion with all the steps and then you start bandaging all this stuff and like figuring out what to do with it. And because I'm a huge fan of therapy.
I think it can be great.
But the problem is most therapists are like, oh, how does that make you feel? Yeah. Like, do you hate that your parents did this? Do you hate that your parents did that? It's like, yeah, of course. Right. I know what they did. Yeah. Right. And like, I think every child that has a parent has issues from their parents because it's like they all don't, kids don't come with instructions.
No.
And
we're all doing our best.
Totally. Right. And we're doing it as best as what we know and from what our parents taught us by what they did for us. Right. Yeah. And I think that's, like ways to like, when it comes down to therapy, cause like, people are like, oh, therapy, this, therapy, that. And I'm a huge fan of it, but there's like, just like CrossFit gyms, there's like one great gym for like 30 bad ones and bad coaches. same thing in therapy. There's like 30 terrible therapists, and then there's like the one that like could really help and assist you do the things that you necessarily need to do for your life to like cope and recover and then get over.
Yeah.
Right? Not get over, package it up and put it into its place in your life where it's going to benefit you and excel you versus keep you in the same place.
Right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily package and put deep down.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to have like care and, just like you said before, like you feel bad for the kids that like was like the cause of a lot of your issues, right?
Yeah.
So it's like having like some grace, having, some like forgiveness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, like now you have the option to take your whole life and paint whatever picture it is that you want, no matter what happened in your past.
Right.
It's the people that get stuck in the drugs. It's the people that get stuck in the victim. It's the people that get held up in where growth ends because they're scared to let go of what once was versus like what you're truly capable of doing in and around people that are always willing to grow. Right. Yeah. And that's why I always say like new habits are always, they should be micronized. So super small, like in any habit that you add. And then the power of proximity, which means basically the types of people you hang around are going to be the ones that help excel you moving forward. Mm-hmm. So, which is, I've always paid masterminds and like been involved with like paid groups to get in rooms of people that are way better and way more advanced in business than I am, because I want to be the dumbest person in the room. You kind of have to be the same way emotionally, right? Because you got to be around people that are positive, because eventually it's going to be infectious.
Yes.
Right. You got to be around people that are willing to invest their time into exercising and treating their body into a way that is medicine, right? Because my daughter, every single time, Daddy, do you need your medicine today? Hell yeah, I do. And it's my workout.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. And she knows that, because like, no matter what, I've drilled it in her head. Like, I need this first before we do anything for you, because this will make me a better dad for you.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that that's like the other area to be able to, for you to like, I guess, start searching for your purpose, because there's a lot of people in the world that don't. Right. And they'll just go ahead and die, because you might have like all these ideas and dreams and things you might want to do, but then you're like, okay, well, I've got kids, I got a husband, I got a job, I got all these things, right? But then like once you find that purpose, it's gonna be like, okay, what gym or what husband, what kids? Like all I could think about is like you becoming your best self.
Yeah.
But then like everybody else rises around you as well. And I think that that's, again, going back to the power of proximity. I hope I'm saying it right, and if not, then somebody will hopefully
call him out.
Yeah, call me out. Because it's, and I've learned this, like, I made a big investment into a business group a couple of years ago. It was like $50,000 to be in this business group.
Damn.
Yeah. And like, it taught me a lot of this, right? Because like when you're around certain people, like you said, the people you started isolating yourself in high school.
Yeah.
You started like hanging around with those types of people, right?
And I went down the same
path.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's like, and people tend to like, oh, but I've been friends with them for 20 years. Like I'll use my mom as maybe I won't use my mom as an example.
No.
I love her. She's, has nothing to do with my mom. It's her friend. But there's certain people that play a role.
I can give you an example.
Perfect.
A friend who I was literally friends with since second grade. She was down that drug path. Awful. And I would partake with her. When I met my husband and he started the first police academy that he did, they asked, are you ever around people that partake in marijuana or drugs or whatever? I had to end friendship and stop being around them because I chose to not continue to partake down that road. Yep. I wanted to be on the more positive side, and I wanted to help my husband excel in his dream career, his why. That's always been his why. Yep. That was loud. And so
story of running a podcast in a gym.
So yeah, that's an example. I had to remove myself from that. The power of proximity, be with my husband and with other people that had like-minded with him to excel in his career. That doesn't necessarily, it's not me exactly, but it's an example.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Remove yourself from that because you have aspiring goals.
Yeah. And I use this as like the perfect example because like growing up, again, me and you live very similar pass. And like the people I was around, like I'm a psychedelic guy, like acid, mushrooms,
I never
ecstasy.
did those.
Oh man.
Oh, I did ecstasy.
Yeah.
But
Like
that was fun.
Yeah. Like you name it, I did it, or whatever I just took was in it, right? Because I was just like, oh, take this pill. That looks good. Oh, this is
super safe.
There's like little tabs of paper. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was. But the start, like, when I started this business, because like I was still pretty heavily involved in a lot of friends that I grew up with. And the second I started getting into health and fitness, and I was like, oh, fitness and workouts and this and that, and like they started just dropping off. And I'm like, all right, cool. And like I ended up moving out from where I moved out here. And really just invested so much into like bettering myself. And then again, the people that aren't willing to grow with you phase out.
They phase out.
And it's like you have all these, you're like, oh, especially growing up, you're like, man, we have all these friends. And, it's like, this is what we do, like partiers or doing drugs. And then once you start to like level up, it's like you start to see like, okay, how toxic those people were, what roles they played in your life. And then, and then this is why these are my friends. These are my clients. This is my family, cause these are the types of people I want to be around. Like I say this a lot, but I was like, I've always wanted to have a place like where I feel like I'm the dumbest person in the room, in the sense of like, where now I have clients surpassing the things that I've done in my fitness career, right? Yeah. Like not just in business, but like physically, where I'm like, okay, shit, I got to step up now, because like I got clients surpassing the things that I've done. Cause I've always been like, oh yeah, let's go run 40 miles. Let's go do this. Crazy. And then, which is great. But it always keeps you leveling up. Right. And so it's like surrounding yourself with those types of people is so important. And again, the people that come here that like aren't ready for that, they're like, oh, there's too many positive people here. I need this. I need more negativity in my life. They usually don't stay. Yeah. Cause it's like, the people that are like, oh, like with, on the last podcast with Sarah, it was like, oh, you need to rest. You need to do this. You need to do that. When it's like, when all she wants to do is go, go, go to like get better, get recovery and all that stuff. When the people that don't do that don't understand it. Right. And so I think that's a huge aspect of like when change does happen, everything changes. Yeah. Like your friends, your family. You know, like, my family is very close knit and very tight. And like, we always like every weekend, it was like, oh, we're going to my aunt's house. We're going to my uncle's house, this and that. And it's like, if it fits into my schedule, great, I'll do it. If I got to work out that day or a long run, I ain't doing it, because my stuff comes first. Yeah. I know I'm just rambling on now, but I think like this is a good key topic of like finding someone's why, right? Yeah. Like, and I was going to do a full episode on this by myself, but I'm glad now you're here, because I don't like talking to a camera by myself. It's a very awkward. I'm sure it is. And then like staying on track and all that stuff, but whatever. But like,
finding someone's why, and hey, maybe learning that it's okay that you haven't found that yet.
Yeah, for sure. And being okay with it. Yeah. But then like, but always have it in like the back of your mind, knowing that this isn't really your end goal, right? No. Because to be honest with you, end goal is death, right? Yeah. And then it's the journey between now and death. That's the purpose, right? Is trying to figure that out.
And even though I have not found my why, and if you haven't found your why, don't stop. My old me, I went through so many periods of working out and doing really good, and then I didn't get the goals that I wanted, or I didn't reach what I wanted to reach at the time, and I stopped. And it's like, now I still haven't found my why. I know that I need to rein in my habits, but I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop. Yeah. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to have hard times. I'm going to have great times. Just the other day, I was struggling so hard deadlifting 205, and I've much easier deadlifted 225. I was dying. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, it was so hard, but I didn't stop. Yep. And I know that next time I deadlift something, push a little harder. Yep. And if you can't make it, it's okay. Yeah. Like it's just so important to, now I can say this, it's so important to be your best advocate. Yeah. And your best hype man. Yeah. But the problem is people are just born and bred to like always, like, we're here to help others, right? Yeah. We're here to like talk people up. And then the second the mirror hits, it's like, oh, you're a failure. You're a dude. Oh, you're this. God. I hate what I look like. I hate this. My hair looks like that. My eyebrows look like that. Yep. My ear hair sticking out like longer than it. I got Cassidy picking at my ear hair, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah. And like, again,
always, even if it's an inch moving forward, like, and this is why I love fitness, because it just puts you can equate everything in life to like a single workout. Right.
Right.
And it's like the pain that you're dealing with. It's like, it's a physical pain. It sucks during, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, how many times in your 33 years of life where you're like, man, this hurts emotionally, this hurts, whatever, that like, okay, now you're 33 and you're doing great. Right. So it's like, how many hard things have you gone through?
A lot.
And then like that, you're like, man, I'm never going to make it through this.
So many.
And this is why like working out to me is just like the biggest tool in the world for everybody to do, because like it really puts it into like a little, like, in 1 hour, most people work out an hour. In 1 hour, it's going to be hard as hell. But after that hour is done, it's going to feel amazing because you got
through it.
Yeah. And you did it. And it's the sense of accomplishment. Even if it's like you're having a hard day, you're only giving 20%, right? Because like there's days where you're just like beaten down at work and you're only able to give 20%, but you still go and do it, right? But you're doing that to live somebody else's dream, going to work, right? Because it's like, but then you come home and then you're like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to work out. I want to do this.
That was me for a long time.
Yeah. A little lump on a log and whatever. And so like, this is why, again, there's no path of like, okay, if I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to have my purpose. I'm going to understand my why, like my reason, like my full blown motivation. Because again, most people don't. You look at a lot of the clients that we have here, like they're older, right?
Which is so cool. Though.
Yeah. And it's like, a lot of them are just like they've gone through their cycle of life and they're just so happy and they're just like, they're okay getting their one workout in a day. They're okay with doing this. I mean, go back to the 5K you ran a few months ago.
I did.
Yeah, you did that. And it's like to other like long distance runners, it's just a 5K, but it's like in the grand schemes of, I don't know what that was, but that was something hard that you chose to do, to tackle head on.
I never would have thought I would do that.
Yeah. And just like the half marathon you're going to do in December.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See what I did there? Yeah. I'm going to get her to sign up.
Did you catch on to that?
Yeah. And so like, but that's the purpose of doing hard things, right? Is because it's proving to yourself that you can get through it and improving yourself that like, oh shit, I am capable. I am capable of deadlifting 225. I am capable of running a 5K, 10 miles, 20 miles, a 1 mile. It doesn't have to be extreme, right? It's just going out and like trying and proving to yourself that you can, which in my opinion, like that's what it takes to find your why. Is bypassing failure, because failure is inevitable, period. But it's 100%. A matter of what you do after you fail is what's the most important thing. It's not just like, because I wouldn't have any business if I just like, oh, I failed. Like next.
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do it right the next time, or maybe not right, but maybe a little bit better and a little bit better and a little better. And eventually I'll figure it out. And 15 years later, I still have a business. We have a great community, And so, but again, it's the power of proximity. It's the drive and will to do more. And it's inch by inch. It's very small changes over long, because it's a compound effect. Yeah. Do you know what the compound effect is?
I mean, I've heard that saying.
Well, it's just like when you put your money into CD, it's like 4% a year. And then every year your money grows. 4% of $100 is more than it's 4% of $200 and it's 4% of $500. So the percentages stays the same, but the amount of money you get back is higher.
Got it.
And so you make these little changes that will eventually compound and keep compounding. And then you'll have your why and be like, Adam, remember when we did that podcast and, I couldn't find my why, and look, now I just built $1 billion business. I'm the next person to cure cancer. I don't know, whatever it is you want to do.
I mean, I'd highly doubt that, but curing cancer.
Wrong attitude.
Yeah.
Wrong attitude.
God. Wrong attitude.
I tried to set you up.
I know.
That was like the perfect setup of like, oh yeah, I can cure cancer. God, what am I going to do?
This is reality though, because not every time you're going to get that response.
I know.
Sometimes we're going to be like, yeah, okay, well, no.
Yeah, you're right. I will do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I will cure cancer.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate this. And I'm glad the end of our conversation was more about like finding purpose and finding why. Because again, I think that's talked a lot about, but then there's like no like instructions on how to do it.
Right.
And you just got to do it. You just got to keep pushing forward no matter what comes your way and what adversity you go through, because we all go through it.
We all do.
86,400 seconds in a day. Okay. I said this on another episode because I was like, oh, it's Andy or no, I said it was some other artist.
Griffith?
Oh, Andy Grammer. He's like my favorite artist. But there's a song that says Live Like You're Dying by Chris Allen.
Okay.
You should listen to it because he says you have 86,400 seconds in a day. And he's like, and if you're on a plane Who are you going to call with your last goodbye if that plane's going to go down?
Oh,
Yeah. But it's like, it puts it into reality because it's like, we all have the same amount of time on this world, right? In a day, in a sense, because lives are ended early, for whatever reasons and purposes and whatever. I feel like there's a reason for everything, but
I say that all the time.
Yeah. But like, we all have the same amount of time. Time is no excuse. It's just a matter of your will, your drive to always become epic.
That was a good ending.
That was a great ending. All right. Really well, on that note, this is Jesse Ruppel. It's been an incredible conversation.
Thank you. Sorry for the rambling.
No, I think it's been really good.
Pour it out of me.
Yeah. So if you got something from this, she's going to share it. We're all going to share it. We're going to subscribe. We're going to make this channel fucking huge because I got a big goal, and see you on the next one.
Bye.
That's it for today's episode of Becoming Epic. If something stirred in you today, don't let it fade. Take one step, one rep, one bold move. You're not here to play small. You're here to rise, rebuild, and become who you were born to be. Remember, average is easy, epic is earned, and the only way out is through. I believe in you, but it's time you believe in you. Subscribe, share, join the movement, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, go be epic.